and let us all do we can to build a better future.
Do you pay taxes? Do you interact with the IRS at all? Well, this story's probably for you. Okay. So, the 2021 tax season is shaping up to be much like the touchdown of a tornado, leaving some taxpayers unscathed while creating turmoil for others. Wonderful. The IRS whirlwind from last year is blowing over into this year's tax season, which begins today. This includes coronavirus-related staffing issues, outdated IT systems, delayed refunds, and unprocessed returns. On top of this, IRS workers are scrambling to implement multiple provisions of the stimulus legislation. This storm has been brewing for a long time and has been made worse by the coronavirus, says Aaron M. Collins of the Independent Taxpayer Associate Service, an organization within the IRS that helps taxpayers resolve issues with the agency. Quote, the COVID-19 pandemic has presented frustrations and challenges, Collins, the National Taxpayer Advocate, wrote last month in an annual report to Congress. It also has pulled back the curtain on the significant limitations the IRS faces with technology with its workforce. I'm not sure how much they're going to go into this in this article. I'll just say it now. The IRS is actually one of those organizations that you sort of do need to staff in terms of getting dollars out of rich people for getting around taxes. The more staffing you have, it's like for every $1 and you get like $7 or something. And the less people that you have in the IRS, the more they start going after poor people, because it's really easy to audit a poor person. It's really hard to audit someone rich. So that's an important thing. And every administration continually cuts down on the IRS as if they're, paid by people that don't want the IRS to be that powerful. So, despite the IRS's overall success in managing the 2020 filing season and accurately distributing the vast majority of the $160 million stimulus payments included in the first round of coronavirus relief, some taxpayers experienced major problems, and the agency was not fully transparent about its struggles, Colin wrote. Now that the 2021 filing season is open, people should prepare for a tempest of tax issues. So if you don't have an accountant, you might need one because it's about to get difficult. And so continuing, I feel like the broken record, but it gets back to resources, both employees and IT. I'm hoping the taxpayers who have the ability to file electronically can do that. So they're saying file electronically. And so those people hopefully will be facing minimal problems. So basically don't send in paper taxes. I do think there are going to be challenges when there's an inconsistency between the taxpayers' economic impact numbers and the IRS records, but there are going to be challenges. The swirling debris of issues in the tax season tornado this year include the following. So the article is long and vast and has like 5 pages that break down all the things I'm about to read, which is why I'm going to read to you the bullet points and not the details of the bullet points, but you can check in the description down below if you're watching this clipped. Come to the live video. It's right there. You can read the full article yourself. But this is now what I said at the very beginning. How do you do taxes? Well, it's a little more than that. If what I'm about to read, if you relate or connect to any of these categories, you may be affected. If you are someone that has connections with stimulus payments, if you're a young adult that's doing stimulus payments, if you're claiming an incorrect recovery rebate credit, if you have unemployment benefits, if you have a backlog issue that you're dealing with, if there's not enough people because there's no one staffing the IRS, if you have an earned income tax credit issue that you might be having an issue with, if you have retirement plan withdrawals that's going to be an issue, if you are working in a home office, that's going to be an issue, if you want a refund of the 529 funds. Well, if you know what that means, it's probably going to be an issue. They want you to free file dividend digitally, and that comes to the next point, which is the digital divide. The people that are filing on paper, that are mailing their taxes in, are going to be a big issue. And if you have tax debt, there's issues. And again, I just read through all of these. The article is going to have like a little more detail on what exactly we're talking about. But congratulations, America. We failed again.
It doesn't surprise me that this is once again another failure of our system and how we keep on getting screwed over. Any other country, the people would have rioted. We're so used to bootlicking our establishment that I think maybe the American people have really forgotten what it means to challenge the system. And we can't take this abuse any longer. Like,
Americans are so in favor of freedom, but that means bumper stickers, not actual freedom.
yeah, so words, not deeds.
Yeah. And it's weird. Like, even in the events where, like, guns are present, it's still words.
Yeah, words.
I mean, I'm not saying do anything with it. I'm just making the point that there isn't enough systemic structural change. Like, an example of that would be we passed SJR 42 in Illinois.
Yep.
That was a congressional amendment. That was a constitutional amendment to get money out of politics. We got to pass. That's structural. That's going to do something if other people do their stuff. As time goes on, I feel like rallies mean less if they're not coupled to actual changes.
Yeah, and when things do get better, yeah, we'll be covering rallies and protests. But I mean, if the protest is going to end up in front of Trump Tower, I'm not going to be polite, because it's like that doesn't change anything. Why aren't you protesting in front of Dick Durbin's house or Tammy Duckworth's house?
Why are you just protesting?
Yeah.
Why are you spending your time cattling yourself to do nothing?
Yeah, I mean, unless you're going to do something that's going to impact change, dare I say it, maybe the 1960s truly was the last time humanity did, or at least here in the United States, the American people actually challenged the system and actually tried to shake things up. Because this stuff, placating or being appeased by the Democrats, by them giving us crumbs, it's not going to work anymore. We got to change. We have to have real change. This isn't right. We're better than this, and we deserve more.